Hello and welcome to Spy Money. Today's morning recap, we're going to talk about the VIX and ES, the future. If you look at VIX, some people aren't familiar with it. It's kind of like a fear factor. When there's fear in the market and it's going the wrong way, the fears go through the roof. And when ES is actually tanking and going down, then you'll see the VIX go way up. So when you look at this, I drew a resistance line across the top, and this is back in 2015. Actually 2014 is where this is. And in August of 2014, it was at 53.28. That was a big spike. It went up. But for the most part, it'll go up to about where it is now, 31, 32, somewhere through there, and then it will bounce back down. Anything over a 20 is considered bad. So, if it goes up and hits the 20 and comes back down, and if you look at this, we'll draw a trend right there. That's right on the 20. And if you look, the candles, they'll come up and hit the 20 and comes back down. But when it goes through the 20, there's an issue. Now, this is a weekly chart. Will it continue to go up? We don't know that. But when it does, it's not very long. So if we do a daily and go back here, if we go back to say this one right here, it usually only spikes for one day and then it comes down. And if you go on back, I don't know if I can see it on this chart or not. 20, see, we should. Okay, so right here, it spiked up, then it come back down. Then it spiked up, and then it come back down. When it spikes, it does not stay very long. So should you buy puts right now? I'm going to be buying puts today on this. And getting puts on it will, I'm thinking like a 20-point drop is probably what it'll end up doing. Right now, if we go back, pull these two in, it won't let me pull them both in together. But this one went all the way up to 24.84 is where it went. And that was back in August. So this one right now is at 30, might as well call it 32. It actually popped up to 32.06, I believe it was. It's 30, right there is 32.06. This is live right now. So will it go on up? Yes, I'm sure it will. But if you buy puts right now at opening, then you're probably going to make a bunch of money because it's probably going to drop anywhere from 12 points or down. It wants to get back down to below the 20. That's where it's stable. So if you bought puts out, say I'm going to buy May 20th, I believe it is May 20th, and I think it was $16. The strike price 16 is what I was going to buy. And if you do that, then you stand a good chance of making a whole lot of money on this. So that's where I am with it. That's what I'm going to do today. That's my play for the day. ES, will I buy any calls on it? I may not. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do on that. It's dropped down below this red line is the 180 on the daily, and I'll go back to that. It actually bounced through that green line, which is the 180. So will it continue to keep on going? I don't think so. It's possible that it might, but I think that we're going to just kind of consolidate along through here. If we do that through Friday, I think that's the market maker's way of stating, market maker's way of exhausting the premiums out of all the options because they're smarter. They know what they need to do in order to get those premiums. So their thinking is if I can just consolidate it and make those premiums disappear, they can make more money. So this is all big game to them. Now, one thing I will say about ES while we're on here is if we go back to the 4 hour, it shows better. The 4 hour, the RSI is actually going up. Okay. Now it does have a, let's see here. This is what you call an ascending triangle. What will happen is this triangle will continue to go up. And when it gets through here, an ascending triangle will break out. So if you look at this, this is going to be toward the end of the day today of when it will happen. Today's Thursday, so there's a good chance that today would be the day that it does it. That's not to say that it won't keep on dropping. If you look at the MACD is trying to go up, right here, and this down here is starting to want to curl a little bit. When this green line crosses the red, then it's a buy time. When that happens, that's when the market's going to go on up. I've got several trend lines in here, and let's see here. If we go, and it broke this trend that I had drawn earlier this morning, so it's already down below, so we can just cancel out this trend. That one's gone since it's broke it. We have and it's broken the 180 that I had drawn there, so that one's gone, so we can take that one out, and it's no longer valid. Will it continue to keep on going? We don't know. The next fib line is 30.4375, and again, I think that it's going to turn. I believe that this is still part of a ploy to get people to sell off and stuff, because they're wanting your shares on all the other stocks. If you look at say Apple, for instance, Apple is going the same way as ES is. Apple is, and if you look at Microsoft, let's see right here, same trend. All of these stocks are doing basically the same thing. They're all going the same direction. You can do, well, SPY of course is. Tesla is, everything is the exact same trend. So if you follow the ES and see when it's going to turn, as soon as it starts turning, you'll see all these other stocks starting to turn. The only thing that is going to stay in a different trend is like Guild. It's in an uptrend right now, and the reason it's in an uptrend is because it had news, and with news it actually went further. Now last night I was showing people that I thought it was going to sell off because of this double top. Well, it actually jumped up, but now it's selling off. Will it continue to sell off today? I think it will, and I think it will because we had such a spike here, and then it sold off, spike, and then it sold off here. And look at this big old spike here. I think it's going to sell back to probably around 75. It may keep on going, but then again, I think when it gets to 75, it'll probably going up. So the people that are following Guild, this is what I think of it. This is my charting for it. You can see the MACD's already turning down, of course. We're still above the 50 on the RSI, which is good. When it drops below the 50, then that's definitely bad. You can see all of the selling pressure here. There's low volume right now, and it's just selling off. There is a lot of people that bought way back, and since it spiked, they started selling off, and you can see this big old dump right here. And with it coming down and selling off below these others, that's not necessarily good, but there was a lot of buyers there that went ahead and bought that dip and drove it up to here. But it's also selling off. So the people that bought here may be selling right here. We don't know for sure. Until opening, we won't know 100% on this, but that is my market recap, and it's I'm still sticking to what I initially said, that I think this week is the last week of the sell-off. We're already down over 400 points, and I think it's right around 450 points or so that we're down. If we go back to this weekly chart, the weekly chart actually shows that we are still within here. This is a broadening, ascending broadening wedge pattern, and if we come back to this one, we actually broke this trend line here. We broke that, but that doesn't mean it won't bounce here or bounce here. It don't have to go all the way down. It could go anywhere at once. You have different resistance levels, like right here is a strong one. This one here, which is 29, might as well call it 2950 range. 2947 is that fib. It could actually stop here or here, either one of them. The 2947 is probably the stronger support line than any of these, and it's at the 100% mark, which is the original fib that we had drawn out. We come from here down to there, and that's how we got these fibs. So and there's the money is what I call it, the 618. That one's at 2706. We could still continue down there. We might even go all the way down to the 2557. I just don't see that happening because Trump is the economy is what he bases everything on, and I just don't see him allowing the market to go here. His tweets will change the market immediately. And I think, and he hasn't been tweeting much about things. He's just been kind of silent. So I'm all about, when this hit this weekly chart up here or weekly trend, that is when we sold off. I think everything is based off of what they want to happen. The coronavirus is just, is definitely bad. It's deadly, but the flu virus is more deadly than the coronavirus. And we don't hear anything about the flu. More people die with the flu every year than the coronavirus is even tapped into. So I don't personally think the coronavirus is as bad as the flu, but they're using the coronavirus with China in order to make the market move the way it wants. And they're putting fear into people so that it can sell off all of these people that have bought, all the bulls that have bought all the institutions, they sell off at different points and buy up. And then now it hit this trend, now it's selling off. They've really cashed in on this. Plus they bought all the puts on and shorted a lot of different stocks. So they have made a killing off of this. And the retail investors are the ones that have suffered because the retail aren't as smart as the institutions. And that's why we're here. We're trying to make us better traders in order to know how to do things. Trends are your patterns. They're something that you really need to know, you need to study. I've got my weekly, I set it up on a darker blue now, so when I'm in my trades, I know, when I see it darker blue, I'm on the weekly. I set up my regular trends like on the 4 hours and such. I'll set them up on this lighter blue. So it just kind of lets me know what I'm trading. So if it's on the weekly, that's where I am, and if it's on the others, then I change my colors to it. My fib lines, again, I set up the green is the money, the 50 is the blue, that means it's getting closer to money, and then the caution level is 38.2. So that's why it's yellow. If you look at our RSIs on the weekly, they look bad, but you can see it crossed here and immediately come right back up. So that's not to say that this right here is not going to turn. And it even had one red candle on the MACD right there. So just because you see that one red doesn't mean it's going to keep on going. It can easily turn back. You can see this drop right here. That was a good sized drop of, see if we went from there, oops, that's the wrong one. If we went from there to there, that's an 8% drop. Right now we are, let's see, we are at a 10% drop. So this is 2% more than what this drop was. And this drop was bad, but it reversed and come back up. So, and right now we're on, as far as on the weekly, we're hitting the 50 EMA, 50 EMA right here, that brown. So, that's at a potential, bounce right there. So I don't think it's anything to be alarmed of yet to go to the, the lower numbers as far as a 25.57, which is this bottom trend. I don't think we'll ever get there. I think it's going to hit here and then it's just going to take off on us. Naturally, we're not going to gain 450 points over, a week, but it's going to be a steady uptrend, and we can get into longer calls and be fine. So I hope that helps you all make a decision on some of your trading today. You're better off probably to sit out a little bit. Again, the VIX is what I'm going to be in today. I think the VIX is a definite, it's a no-brainer to me. Even if I buy puts today and it runs up, well, I'm going to be buying May puts. So even if it runs up today or tomorrow, I'm fine with that because it will come back down. It's not going to continue to go up. And I think VIX is our best play today because it's definitely only going to be within a day or so, and then it's going to pull back. So that's money in the bank to me. Hope that helps your trading today, and please like, share, and subscribe. And also, if you're interested in learning more, if you're a new trader and want to know more about charting and so forth, we have a Discord channel. And if you go to Discord on your app, and if you send me a message, then I can tell you more about that. Or if you just click the link in the description below, then that will get you all set up for it, and we'll get you signed on and start teaching you more about charting, how to follow the market, and also about how to use indicators and so forth, and maybe it'll make you a better trader as well. Have a great day.